Okay, let's talk about all the features in the online plan room. We're going to start over here with settings and info. Daily projects, daily addenda, and bid results are all projects that have been updated within the last 24 to 48 hours. So daily projects, these are projects that were entered the previous day. Daily addenda would be projects that have been updated with either addenda or memos. And bid results are projects that have been updated with bid results in the last 24 to 48 hours. These are the projects that you see on your daily update in the morning. They're also here for your convenience. So if you click on this, it's going to give you all the projects that have been entered in the last 24 to 48 hours. Same with daily addenda and bid results. My profile. This is a snapshot of your profile in the plan room. You can make changes here. You can update your username. You can update your password. You can update your address or phone number, and you can change your type from here. You have to select one primary type when you add yourself as a bidder, but you can add yourself to the bidders list multiple times, and we will talk about that more in just a bit. Plan rooms. The plan room is made up of the entire state, and within that we have regions, and you can see they're color coded. So you have the ability to turn these regions on and off if you want a smaller snapshot of the state. If you don't bid projects down in Southern California, turn AGC San Diego off. If you're only looking at projects at the Northern Online Plan Service and you don't care about these other areas, you can toggle these on and off as needed. California public projects are going to be projects that span multiple counties or multiple regions. And the Department of Transportation projects are just those, Caltrans. So you have the ability to turn these on and off at any time. Company activity is going to be the activity within your company. So users that have a username and password under your company, you'll be able to see everybody here. You can see what they're looking at, what they're doing. It's by company, by project, or by user. Default initial view, this is what you see when you first get into the online plan room. It defaults to bidding projects, which is the list of projects that are out for bid, but you can toggle these on and off and change them if you would prefer to, say, see my tracked projects when you first log into the plan room. It is totally up to you. So you would toggle those on and off, save it, and then log out and get back into the plan room. Save search. This is a way to set up a test search so that when you get your daily update, if you have projects that meet the parameters of your search, they will populate at the top of the daily update. So you're going to click new search, and you have a couple ways to create the search. So you'll want to do a name for your search, OPS projects, whatever works for you, concrete, pool, whatever makes sense to you, you can go ahead and name that. So you can do a save search based on counties. So if you want to select multiple counties or just one, and you want to see those projects from those particular counties, that is one way to set up a search. You can also use keywords. So for instance, you could put concrete in, you may get a lot of results back. The way the results are populated is by searching through the spec books and the plans. So if those words appear anywhere, you will get a hit back. So the more unique the word, the less results you'll get, and you'll be able to refine it a little bit more. You can also enter a CSI code if you would like to set up a search that way. You can have multiple saved searches. As you can see up top, I have multiple searches set up. Just keep in mind that not every book has CSI codes, so it may not give you the results that you're looking for. So that is why it is nice to set up multiple searches. So if you click on one of these, like test search 2, this was a search that I did with the keyword pool. So these are the projects currently in the plan room, 52 of them, that have the word pool somewhere in the spec book. So if we click on, say, this one and go to search specs and enter pool, it's going to come back with all of the hits within either the plans or the specs where that word appears. So you can open the PDF file right from there. So back to notifications, you want to make sure this is toggled on. This is how you receive your daily update in the morning. Install software. This is our legacy software. It's no longer supported by the owners. I don't really recommend installing either one of these onto your computer. If it's the first time you've ever done it, you may experience some issues and it doesn't install right. These will go away eventually once our own version of the Takeoff software is fully active. Contact support. So since I'm with Valley Contractors Exchange, my information is populated here. Depending on what exchange you're a member of, you will see that header at the top. The plan room itself is not different. It's just your header. So if you're a Sacramento member or a North Coast member or a Humboldt member, you'll see their information at the top along with the information that you would contact for your home exchange. Support Center. These are some really handy training videos that are here. I highly recommend reviewing them. They're going to be a little bit more in depth than what I'm going to hit on today, which is just kind of showing you everything. But these are really specific to certain things. So if you're looking for a more in-depth explanation of the safe search, please feel free to review these videos. Okay, my projects tracked. That is going to be the area where any projects you are currently tracking and have saved will populate. So if you're planning to bid on a project as either a prime or a subcontractor or a supplier, I highly recommend tracking the project, and I will show you how to do that once we get into the project detail page. But this is where you'll see those. Pre-bid is this tab right here. These are projects that are not technically out for bid yet. We've heard about them. They might be coming. Not every builder's exchange utilizes this tab. Most of these projects that are on here are more Central Valley or Southern California. We, up in the Northern Online Plan Service, we just enter the projects and then put notes that docs are coming. Bidding, this is the bidding tab. These are all the projects that are out for bid. I currently have every region turned on. So at this time, there are 1,860 projects out for bid in the Builders Exchange. So let's go through the tabs here. So this first column is for project preview. So if you click on it, it's going to give you a snapshot. It's going to give you the description, the bid date, the pre-bid conference, pretty much a lot of what you're going to see on the detail page. It's just in this nice little snapshot. So it has a map of where the project is. You can track the project from here. You can add yourself as a bidder. You can add this project to your calendar. The tracking is here. You can do yes, no, or maybe. And then what that does is it'll color code the project on your bidding tab. So you'll see if you said yes, you'll see it in green. It's a way to eliminate projects if you've looked at them or show that you are going to bid them. So it's really just for you and nobody else is going to see those. This tab right here indicates whether the project has documents. So if anything has been posted with it, notice, plan, specs, you're going to see this symbol right here. If you see a little red plus mark, that means new documents have been added since the original documents were posted. So that could be an addenda, it could be a pre-bid list, it could be a memo. It just means there's something new. This is the day since the number of days since the project has been received. So you can actually click on any of these to sort and back sort them so that you get the newest things that have been entered versus the projects that have been in the system the longest. Same thing with the documents. You can click on this and it'll put you through which have documents and which do not. This tab right here, this is the notes tab. If you've made notes on any projects, it'll populate right here and it'll say notes. So you can go in and we'll talk a little bit about that more once we get onto the detail page. Bid date, this column is also sortable, so you can back sort and front sort it so that you get the most current and the projects that are the furthest out. Project name, also sortable, and then location, again, also sortable. So you can click on any of these to sort them. Up here we have the map. So if you click on this, this is going to give you a map of the state and the projects and where they're located at. So you can click on any of these and show you exactly where on the map this project is located. The display search on the calendar is the same idea. It just has the number of projects bidding on each day. So if you go to the 16th, it's going to give you a list of all the projects that are bidding that day with a little snapshot, and you can click on any of them and it'll take you right to that listing. This is the grid. If you want to export the full grid, which is the list of all the projects that are out for bid, to an Excel file, you would click on this. And then if you want to print it to just a regular PDF or, save it to a Word file, you can do that as well, or you can just print it to your computer. Okay, so let's go back to bidding and let's pull up a project so we can take a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, I have indicated yes for this project, so that's how that appears. You can see the green. I've made notes, so you can see that that's what you will see in the column, and this is handy for other people within your company. Those are the only people that will see these notes. So click on the project. So up here we have the bid date, we have the project name, the location, the time. You can add yourself as a bidder right from here. So you would go in here, toggle the type that you want, and then if you want to add a note, you can add a note. Submit bids day before. It'll actually hold this note. So the next time you go to add yourself, it'll still be there. So if you have a note that you just want to add to pretty much every project, I would put that there. Otherwise, you'll want to adjust it on a project by project basis. If you want to indicate yourself as a confirmed bidder, which will put a little asterisk next to your name, you would toggle this on and then you would hit submit. Over here, you can add this to the calendar. So this is going to automatically add it to either your Outlook or Google or whatever calendar you're using, and it'll populate the information to that calendar for you. All right, so down here, status is bidding. Most of the time, that's what you're going to see. This rarely changes. It may differ between the regions because we all have slightly different verbiage that we use. Pre-bid conference information will show here. You can also click here to see the project on a map. So it'll indicate whether the pre-bid is mandatory, the bid, the time, the date, and the location for where you will attend that. And you can also add this information to your calendar as well. So back to here, project type, these will also vary depending on which region you're looking at. Most of our projects are going to be public works, but you may see commercial or residential or something like that. It'll indicate whether there are bid packages with a yes or a no. And if an estimate is available, this information will be right here, estimate low, estimate high. Contract reference number is just what it says. It's the contract reference number. It's just another way to identify the project. Published date is the date that the project was issued by the owner. So this is important for when determining prevailing wage tables. So you'll want to pay attention to that published date. Plan status, spec status will reflect, whether there are plans and specs and whether they're online or if we're waiting for the documents to arrive. If the project has a website that you originated it from, we will add that here, keeping in mind you will need to have a login to each of these various websites. Some of them require it, some of them don't. This is going to be the description of the project, scope of work. If there's a license requirement, we're going to note it here. And we're also going to note how to submit questions and when questions should be submitted here as well. So scrolling down, we have only one update so far. So this is where you'll see addenda. So if there were addenda 1 or 2, they would be populated here. At this time, we have the mandatory pre-bid list updated. So we've entered that list and you can see down here, there's the list right here. So these are the GCs that subs and suppliers will submit their bids to. So if you wanted to send an email to all of these, you can toggle them on and off. You can select a whole group and you can send an email. You can either send it right from here or you can send it with Outlook. So it's handy if you're getting ready to submit your bid. The project contacts will be listed here. Ideally, you'll see a questions contact and an owner contact. And scrolling back up here, this is what we call our toolbox. So up top under the documents is all the different ways that you can view the documents. So the first one is literally view project docs. It'll have, as you can see, here's our mandatory pre-bid list that we entered. That's posted here. It's going to open a new tab. The plans themselves will open right here. You can, zoom in and out. You can rotate it. You can download it. You can print it. If you are wanting access to the beta tools for takeoff, contact your home exchange and we can get that set up for you. So eventually that will be deployed to everybody, but right now they're just doing it on a one-by-one basis. So if you're interested, please let us know and we'll be sure to get you on the list. And then of course, if there's a spec book, that'll open up here separately. All right, download files. So this is another way to just download the files. So if you quickly wanted to download all of these files to a zip file, you would select them all. You can toggle these on and off if you want to change it. You know, they're already PDF, so you don't have to do that. If you wanted them to bind them so that instead of, 6 or 7 files, you had just one file, you could toggle that on. And then you just hit create package. And it'll take it a minute and it'll think on it, and then it'll zip the files. And then you would just do a direct download and it's going to open it up into a zip file. So there you go. You can move these files onto your computer so that you have them handy if you wanted to use them. Okay, order prints, just what it says. If you want to get a hard copy of the plans, you'll have to talk to your home exchange. Everybody does things a little different. Here at VCE, you can order them right from here for pickup. You would just select plan pages and then hit send order, and that'll generate an email to your home exchange. So some exchanges have printing in-house, some exchanges outsource it to a repro house, so it'll all depend on who you're a member of and what their process is. On-screen takeoff, this is the legacy takeoff viewer that we were talking about. I'm not going to go into it, but if you are interested in getting more information on on-screen takeoff, I do have some files that explain it a little better, but eventually that will be going away. Okay, so under here we have view activity. This is the activity for the project. So everybody that's looked at it is going to be listed here. Over in this column, you can see the action, which is viewed or saved. So you can see some of these contractors have saved this project. So it's on their tracked projects. They're going to get updates and they're probably serious about bidding it. So this is just a reference tool for you. If you're a GC and you're looking for subs and you have a hole to fill, you could go to the view activity and see if, maybe you're looking for an HVAC contractor and you can reach out direct to them and solicit a bid from them. So that's normal. This is user. It just condenses that. So then instead of seeing this multiple times, you're just seeing it one time as a user, and it gives you the number of times they've looked at it over here in this column. And then specialty is the contractor type. You'll see a lot of unknowns because they may not have got put into the system as the correct type when they entered. So I would ignore that and really focus more on the normal or the user. So back to the project. Email project info. This allows you to send an email about this project to anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody that's a member. Keeping in mind, if they're not a member of the Builders Exchange, they won't be able to log into the plan room to see it, but they will still get that information sent to them. So it's a heads up for them. Add me or remove me is just like it says. If you are already on the list and you want to be off, you can click on that and we will get an automated email and then we go in and manually take you off. Or if you want to add yourself as a GC, you would just do that here and then hit submit. Untracked projects. So since I'm currently tracking this project, I would have to remove it from my track projects. But ideally, this would be a project that you would track. So you would just hit track and say yes. Add notes. This allows you to add a note like I did here. This note is visible to anybody in your company, and that's the only people that can see it. So nobody else can see these notes aside from the people within your company. So this is a way to communicate with each other. If you were doing the takeoff for electrical, you could note that on there. Spec books or spec books, this is what we talked about earlier. You can put in anything, do a search, and it's going to come back with the hit. So, concrete, I could see concrete is on page 1. It's on, page 1, paragraph 106. So this is a way, if you're looking for certain verbiage in the spec book, it takes you right to it. And then right here, this is the project number. So the first 4 letters denote the exchange. So NOPS is Northern Online Plan Service. You also got COPS, which is Central Online Plan Service, VOPS, Valley Online Plan Service. SOPS is South Southern California. So each of them have a different, and then the numbers afterward would be the project ID. Right here, you can actually select your level of interest. As I showed you earlier, once you color code and select these, it'll color code it on the bidding tab, so it can make it easier if you know you've eliminated a project that you know you're not going to bid, mark it as no, then you don't have to go back and waste your time on that again. So you may also see some advertising. This will be specific to your exchange. Like here, we have a member mixer coming up, so we've got that on here. So you're going to see different things depending on the exchange that you're a part of. So post bid is projects that have already bid. So once the project bid date passes, it immediately moves over into post bid. So if you're looking for results, this is where you're going to go. You can search by city, you can search by county, and you can search project name. The only thing you can't do in post bid is the keyword. And as far as project name goes, less is more. This goes the same for when you're searching in the bidding tab. The less information you put in can sometimes be better. If you put in more than one word and they're not in the correct order, then you may not get the results that you're looking for. And so let's show you what it will look like when a project does have results on it. So they're going to be located at the top. And then there you will also may see this for a complete list of results. Click here. This will take you right to the full results. Okay, so legal is just like it says, just the legalese. Every website has to have it, so it's here in case you need it, and then if you want to log out. So that is it. If you have questions about anything that you saw in this video, please reach out to your home exchange and we will be sure to help.